Hello everybody, I'm Gabby Vallandingham and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be films everyone should see from the 1960s, part 2. And the timeline for this video is 1965 through 1969. So from this point on in this series, I'm going to try my hardest to be short and sweet for the reasons that I think you should see each movie, because I know that I ramble on a lot. Anyways, let's talk about some films, shall we? The first movie that we are going to talk about is from 1965, and it is Dr. Zhivago. The life of a Russian physician and poet who, although married to another, falls in love with a political activist's wife and experiences hardships during World War I and then the October Revolution. And this was directed by David Lean, and it stars Omar Sharif. So this was a very big movie for the 1960s and film history in general because it won 5 Academy Awards. It won writing, cinematography, art and set direction, costume design, and music. And just, it's a very long, tragic love story that is just, it's an essential for every movie lover, in my opinion. So yeah, that's why I think you should see Dr. Zhivago. And Omar Sharif, he's just gorgeous, so yeah, that's another reason you should see it. The next film that we are going to talk about is from 1966, and it is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. A bounty hunting scam joins 2 men in an uneasy alliance against a third in a race to find fortune and gold buried in a remote cemetery. And this was directed by Sergio Leone, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it stars Clint Eastwood. So Westerns are really honestly not my favorite genre, but this film is just something that everyone needs to see because it inspired so many more Westerns after this. So when you think about a Western movie nowadays, like it could be like a serious Western movie or a comedic Western movie where they're just like making fun of something and they're in the Wild West. A lot of the times they use the doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. They use that sound and then they do close-ups on their eyes and on their guns. That was first used in this movie. So I think that it's a really good thing to see where inspiration lies, because that's the whole point of the series that I'm creating right now. So yeah, it is a good movie. It's just Westerns are not my favorite. But Clint Eastwood, wow, he's great. He's Clint Eastwood. So the next movie we are going to talk about is just, it's one of my favorite movies. And it is from 1967, and it is The Graduate. A disillusioned college graduate finds himself torn between his older lover and her daughter. And it was directed by Mike Nicholas and stars Dustin Hoffman and Anne Bancroft. So, this is a movie everyone needs to see. That's it. That's all I'm gonna give you. This is just, everyone needs to see it. That's all I'm going to say. Our next movie is from 1968, and it is Rosemary's Baby. A young couple trying for a baby move into a fancy apartment surrounded by peculiar neighbors. And this was directed by Roman Polanski, and it stars Mia Farrow. So this is just a crazy movie. Like to me, I find this very, very just creepy. And that's why I think that this is like the epitome of a well-done horror movie that I really don't think has any flaws, and I just think that everyone needs to see it. So yeah. Our next film is also from 1968, and it is Funny Girl. The life of Fanny Brice, famed comedian and entertainer of the early 1900s. We see her rise to fame as a Ziegfeld girl, subsequent career, and her personal life, particularly her relationship with Nick Arnstein. And this was directed by William Wyler, and it stars Barbra Streisand, Omar Sharif, and Kay Medford. Fanny Brice is just my dream role, and I just love her with my whole heart, and just Barbra Streisand in this role is literally, obviously this is just like, this is how she became known within like the movie world, because she played this role on Broadway, but oh my gosh, she is so good in this movie, and her singing, it's just, She's Barbra Streisand. Like, what do you expect? But still, it's like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And a cool fact about Barbara, because of this movie, is she won Best Actress at the Oscars for it. But she wasn't the only one that won Best Actress that year. She actually tied with Katharine Hepburn. I think that's like one of the only times, if not the only time, that that has ever happened between like a tie between two people or two movies or something like that. So I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, just go watch Funny Girl. It is so good. Barbra Streisand is just, she is a genius. And the last movie that we're gonna talk about in this video is from 1969, and it is Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Wyoming, early 1900s. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid are the leaders of a band of outlaws. After a train robbery goes wrong, they find themselves on the run with a posse hard on their heels. Their solution? Escape to Bolivia. And this was directed by George Roy Hill, and it stars Paul Newman and Robert Redford. It's similar for me in the sense of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's just, Westerns are not my favorite, but I think this is a great movie. It's just another great spaghetti Western in my opinion. And this also won 4 Academy Awards that year. It won for Screenplay, Original Score, Song, and Cinematography. I think everyone should see this movie just because it's a classic. And Paul Newman and Robert Redford, they're just so good. So that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you liked it. And if you did, please give it a like and a comment if you want. It would be really nice if you could. And let me know if you would have added or taken away any of the movies that I put on this list. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye!